What's up guys, welcome back to another drawing tutorial. Patreon request today from Patrick. Sukuna telling Gojo that he's magnificent. Landscape page. Use a pencil, use an eraser, hit pause if I go too fast. So obviously like his face is kind of destroyed, there's blood everywhere, scratches everywhere. Intensely manga'd drawing. If you want to go nuts with your lines, feel free. He's looking, we're close up on his face, head tilted, kind of diagonal, right? So we're going to start with his eye. And we'll just go diagonal here, right? Just for the inside of the top eyelid. And then this goes kind of square across the top. And usually these lines get darker and thicker. You know, so like it can be a thicker eyelid line usually. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, that kind of thing. So give you your direction and shape. Bottom eyelid line then sort of goes this way then, the opposite direction. Underneath, kind of into his tear duct. Sort of there. They actually draw in the tear duct sometimes in Jujutsu Kaisen. And sometimes you got like little extra sort of lines around the eyelid as well. Of course, there's lots of blood and everything. So he's looking down at Gojo over here. So we have a sort of a circle coming up from the top eyelid line, right? So coming up, going up and down, kind of like a, you know, a sunset sort of thing. Like if that was the horizon or a rainbow or and then his pupil, so he's got that bullseye sort of thing going on, but his pupil is just like a dot, you know. And then there's like 2 or 3. We could probably just do one of these, just because things would get way too blurry and small if I did another one inside this. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so basically that, and be all red and stuff. Ba-da-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum-bum. So eyelid line just above, like so, and like maybe something down here as well. And his nose starts going in that way, and then the eyebrow just across the top. It's real spiky, square front, goes all the way back there. In the manga it's colored black, but obviously in the anime it's like a dark, it's closer to his hair color really. So it's up to you what way you would like to color that. You could go black or do it anime style. I might color it, yeah. Okay, so just the other side here, we got his nose, so it's gonna go diagonal. That way it's like the bridge of his nose curves this way. curving out there. And then it'll sort of spike around, so it'll go down there. And then there's a nostril sort of on the other side there. And then just the nostril on the other side just comes up like so. So his other eye is on the other side. We got like his eyebrow coming out here. So it just kind of curves around to his brow section. Just over there. And his other eye is like destroyed, basically, right? So you got like a closed eye. So it'll kind of like go this way. And it's all just eyelashes, so it's like dark. And then some eyelid lines just curving around, so like that. And then some stuff down here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so he's open mouth smiling. So he's real happy after his fight. So it's like over here, and the other side will be, so it curves down to like there somewhere. It's like the width. Okay, so we'll go across the top. Looks like it's closed, so we'll open it up. Down to there. And like so. And it just goes. And then maybe just like his bottom lip, kind of just in there. And then teeth, right? We can see his sharp sort of teeth here in the corner first. And then it goes up and over. And we can see some of the molars in the back. And the bottom teeth, just down here. Like so. And then it's all black shadow just around, right? So I will color this black. Okay, so chin, square chin, just sort of down this way. And then the jaw will go up towards his ear. And then we have just above that, we got the sideburn. And then his ear comes around like so. It's sort of pointy here. And then we got ear lines inside. Easiest way, letter J. And you can add a bit more if you want. Do, do, do. Okay, so side of his head on this side, so we got his cheekbone. Goes around to his eye, then up to his forehead, and then into there. And then his hairline, so it'll go sort of spiky up, like zigzag sort of around here. Around the other side as well. I'm not forgetting all the face markings and everything. We will come back to those. We'll just get his hair done. Maybe another couple of ear lines in here, actually. So, hair spikes. Sorry, my kids are so loud. So just keep adding them. All the way around. Eventually it just starts to go this way then. And go all the way around his head. And you could have some extra spikes and textures and stuff just in here then, just to show the sort of direction of his hair. Okie dokie. Now, so those face markings, so we've got his other Sukuna eye, so his other other visible eye just here, the sort of extra one. Again, it's that sort of bullseye kind of thing. Like a little sort of extra line around it. Okay, and then the sort of V-like markings that are here. The manga artist draws them different to the anime, actually, which is kind of interesting. Like so. And then it goes down his face. It's it can be like a thicker, darker line. And if you wanted to do them, in sort of anime style color, you can. And then there's like those little sort of V's here on the bottom of his chin. Then it kind of just goes up his face that way, around his jaw. And then we have the one across his nose. There. This should go under his eye as well, somewhere like here. It's covered in blood, but we will draw it in. Right, and then the one in the middle of the forehead. So it's like this lightning-like spike here. Right, and then diamond in the middle of this. So it's like a guy with his like arms up. Right, so then the rest of, especially this side of his face, is like all scratched up. So you can do as much of these sort of light hatching lines as you want, and then like I would color like basically red, dripping blood all down here. He does that sort of pure black line. So he'll do it like the manga artist. I mean, he'll do it with like a paintbrush or something. But we got pens, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do this, and I'll add as much as I can. And then sort of red blood and stuff over that. You can add more if you want. So back of his neck here, front of his neck, quite strong, sort of going that way, quite wide. And then he's got like his muscular sort of trapezius that way, and then that way. We could have like another sort of neckline maybe there, and an Adam's apple, and then neck muscle there, like so. And right, so a shoulder going down. So this shoulder is much smaller than this one. You can't actually see all this shoulder, so I'm going to have to kind of see if I can figure this one out now, because it's kind of double the size right now. We'll go, okay, I'll just do, what will I do? Maybe like so. Yeah, that looks okay. And then sort of a shoulder muscle. Sort of coming around there. So I'm kind of making that up now, so because it's not actually included in the image, but that looks okay. So then we have top of his sort of chest coming out from this bump. Always joins these two neck muscles, like always. So it's a good sort of rule of thumb, or rule of neck. And then here, more sort of hatching lines and chest muscles and stuff. So he also has shoulder be rounder, maybe make it a bit rounder just here. He also has those more black tattoos on his neck as well. Spiky ones and flat-ish ones. So we'll go like here for the big ones first. And then one that seems to go down his chest this way. And then on the other side as well. And then there's some spikes on his neck. And once again, he is in bits. So lots of scratches and hatching lines and stuff all over. And blood and details and as much of that as you would like to do, or as is appropriate for you and your drawing. Bum, 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 bum. He could have another marking there if I remember from his design, but I can't see it. Bum, 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 bum. All right, You can keep going with that for days, obviously. And I'll colour all those tattoos black and stuff as well. And his hair and all that. Okay, Patrick, thanks for the support on Patreon. Hope it's helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.